Welcome back to the Sales Gravy Podcast and another episode of Ask Jeb. I've got Jeb with me, and I've got Will Frattini, our good friend from Zoom Info. I have one question from a real-world salesperson that wants to know what your expertise is on your mindset. And from Jeff Velez, Jeff asks, how do you prepare your mindset and create the discipline to be effective every single day? Will, I want to throw this one to you first, and then Jeb, you follow up behind him.
I'll go short with my answer because it pulls on the heartstrings. Is my family and I, family over everything. My extended family, my immediate little 5-pack that my wife and I call our family, our kids refer to themselves as a 5-pack, is you have to have a carrot. And you might have multiple carrots over the course of your life, but you think of an image of a horse and a carrot. In the oldest of times, the way you got a stubborn horse to go forward, even when it thought it couldn't, you put a carrot on a stick and hang it from its bridle, and it sticks in front of its face and it goes for it. You always have to define your carrot. Your carrot can be ambiguous and can be ethereal, like I love my family and I want to provide for them, but it should be something a lot more specific and tangible, like I want to go and earn a commission check of X, or I want to go and buy a boat, or I want to build generational wealth with real estate and investing. My daughter, when she was 5 years old, bought me a carrot Christmas ornament, and I keep it with me. My desk is far away from the studio that we're recording in, but I would grab it if I had it. But I carry that with me every day. I've had a lot of carrots in my life. I've been very fortunate to achieve them, but I always carry that with me to remember that that's what motivates me. Is my carrot is my family and finding another carrot for them. My wife and I always joke when I'm in a rut, because it happens. She says, "I need to get you a new carrot." And so that's my number one motivation, is to stay solid and steadfast on define what your carrot is, figure out that goal. And that will be what pushes you past that point where everybody else is going to give up, and probably be justified to do so. But that's what's going to separate the best from the worst.
Imagine having the ultimate competitive advantage. Imagine every piece of your content attracting ideal clients to you, not chasing them down. That's not a dream. It's what's possible with the right strategy. And if you haven't heard by now, Jeb and LinkedIn expert Bryn Tillman have written the playbook that will evolve the way you sell. Their new book, The LinkedIn Edge, is your ultimate resource for turning LinkedIn into a revenue-generating machine. You'll learn how to prospect with power, network with a purpose, and build a brand that attracts clients to you. Not only that, but they dive into the fundamentals of using AI so that you won't get left behind. Don't wait. The LinkedIn Edge is on sale everywhere you buy books.
I absolutely echo that. I think that when we think about mindset and sales, we have to start with the fact that sales is hard. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's the hardest profession in business, hands down, because it's really the only profession where you have to do something that is completely unnatural for most human beings, and that is to go out and find rejection and bring it home. Everything that you do, every ask that you make, you have the potential to be rejected and have that rejection hurt you at a deep, painful level. And that's just the truth. Sales is full of ups and downs. It is wins and losses. It is everything that most people don't want to do, which is why we get paid so much to do this, because it's difficult. But with that, you got to go back to mindset. So I think the mindset question is important, and the carrot matters. So when you think about sales, all you got to think about sales is discipline, right? You have to show up every day and do a certain number of activities, and you have to do them every single day consistently. And in order to do those hard things consistently, you need that carrot. And the way I look at it is, it's sacrificing what you want now, which is easy, for what you want most. So in other words, I want to do things that are easy, but in order to get what I want most, I got to do things that are hard. So I need that carrot. I need that goal. I need that why. And that's how you start your day. The thing is that it's deeper than just how you start your day with a mindset. That why keeps you going when things don't go right for you or don't go well for you. I did a podcast a while back called Scottie Scheffler Bounces Back, and it was about the PGA Championship and the fact that the field was bouncing back after something went bad for them. So in other words, they made a bogey. They were bouncing back with a birdie or better less than 18% of the time. Scheffler, 62% of the time. Now, if you watch Scottie Scheffler in interviews, if you listen to his words, if you watch his life and how he lives his life, he's very clear about what's important to him. Like Will said, like he understands who his 5-pack is, right? That's his wife. That's Bennett.
Yeah, he
that's
does.
his, he knows what fulfillment means, and he lives with that as his goal. So when something goes wrong for him, it's not like there's this cascade of everything is wrong. Like it's not like his ego took a hit. He's focused on what matters most. He picks himself back up. He brushes himself off and he keeps on moving. And it's one of the reasons why he's just such a winner and a great example for people, because it's his mindset comes first and then everything else. And if you look at Scheffler and you look at him as an athlete, it wasn't always that way. When he first brought Ted Scott on, Ted Scott was like, I'm not working for you unless you get the attitude and the temper and the anger under control. Think about that for a second. The caddy wasn't going to work with him unless he did those things. What I would say to everyone who's listening, to anybody who's thinking about how do I get my mindset right, just go back to what Will said. Go get yourself a carrot. It's a really good day. Go find yourself, you can probably find one on Amazon. Get yourself a carrot ornament, hang it in your office, and use that as the visual cue for what matters for you the most. So when you're sitting at your desk in the morning or something has gone wrong and you're trying to bounce back or trying to get yourself started for the day, that's going to remind you of why you're showing up that day. Why did you pick this profession, this hard, soul-sapping profession that we're in? Why did you pick it? Maybe the only thing harder than sales is golf, right? But why did you choose it? That will drive you forward and keep you going.
A bonus there too, and someone at ZoomInfo who I was lucky and completely randomly enough to have met her during interviews and hired her, and would have hired her 1,000 times more, and have nothing to do with her success since coming to ZoomInfo at all. But other than just that's how I met her. Her name is Karen. She always chirps on our deal channel in Slack when someone closes a big deal. And she almost always, you could set your clock to it, says, I love when good deals happen to good people. I will say, Jeb and I are not materialistic only. I hope you heard us all say this. Family, family, family is one of our big carrots. Sometimes the sales superpower can be the unlock of my carrot is genuinely helping someone else be the star of the show. And that could be our whole new webinar series for 2026, Jeb. But that in and of itself is enough of a carrot for the best sellers in the world. They don't care about how great their product is. We had a great question on a webinar. How do I stand out from the rest and tell people I'm the best if I'm the newest one on the block? You are supposed to help them be the star. And that could be your carrot. Think about how much I can help someone else's day. And if you genuinely believe that, you're going to come through. And when you have that extra little carrot hanging, that little ornament or that house or that milestone, it's doubly going to remind you that the reason I'm doing this is because. And it's almost better to think not if, but when that stuff happens. So again, Jeb gives you so many tactical tools. Jeb Blount Jr. in this podcast brings on some of the smartest people, much smarter than me in the world of sales. All of them still know at the end of the day, they're not the star of the show. It's kind of easy to think that when you listen to a podcast of sales experts. We're here to help our clients achieve a thing. And if you don't really believe that, then you might be successful and make a bunch of money, but you're still not going to have longevity, and you're going to fail when you get pushed back on, or you're going to always be chasing something ethereal itself. So again, I've really enjoyed all my time with you guys, because I know that your time back to, selling to stadiums and selling to I mean, gosh, how do you stand out? I have to just show you that I care better than the next person that's coming in here to talk about very similar stuff, right? And that can be your carrot too. So full caveat, sales is really hard because it's hard to put other human nature before yourself. And if you have a carrot to help motivate you to push through, you will do great. But if you know that that's your intrinsic motivation to help someone else deep down, no matter how competitive you are and how much you want to be the one on the leaderboard in your office, that's going to be what turns things around.
I love it. Great answers, guys. I'll leave the audience with this. I read this every single morning. Anytime I get a chance, I have it all over my desk. If you're blessed enough to breathe, go ahead and get it done. Because your time is a non-renewable resource. Don't waste it. Go ahead and get out there. If you wake up in the morning, you're blessed. So remember that. And remember this, when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're worn out, when you're ready to go home, always make one more call.
Hey, I'm doing a happy dance because you watched this video. Make sure that you click like and subscribe so that you never miss one of our amazing sales training videos.